Yeah, why don't you cry about it some more?
Whiny crybaby. Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Letha. I am Travis. That's Leopold.
This is Whiny Crybaby.
And he is not a crybaby.
He kind of is. He's kind of a whiny crybaby.
Anyways, it's Friday, and that means it's the Empire State. They are going to be in Madison Square, I believe. And,
Madison Square.
This is Toasty Marshmallow's last night, so remember her. Remember me! Is her war cry.
You want me to use your tail as a microphone?
She wants people to remember her. Remember me! I already forgot her name.
Toasty Marshmallow?
Oh,
Kayla Braxton?
I know what her name is.
Oh.
I was just pretending.
Oh, you're pretending not to know.
By Monday, I will have forgotten her name and that she ever worked for this company.
Probably. It makes sense.
Hey, Jade. How you doing? How you doing?
She's on there for a triple threat qualifying
doing?
match.
I know they put like 2 in this one that could win it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one, another bracket where there's 3 broads. Not one of them should win. It's like, why wouldn't they just put Jade in that one or the other girl in that one? You ever seen Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes.
And the gay guy with the javelin? That's what javelin reminds me of
every time you see it.
I'm like, why don't they just get a gay with a special type of javelin that's designed for him?
I think that's called cheating.
It's a special javelin. Why are you touching stuff?
I don't know.
Why'd she touch it?
She stole things.
Of course she would. Why wouldn't she steal it? It's probably somebody that's famous that in the throwing stick category.
Maybe.
When no one actually gives a shit about it.
Ugh.
You can't tell me one Olympic medalist ever in the javelin. Go.
I can't.
Ever. Men or women. Exactly. Because it's not even a sport. It's spear chucking. My Indian ancestors would be good at it.
Possibly.
The old spear chucking.
I mean, if that's the type of stuff they used. Chris is in the chat. Sophie's in the chat. Harley's with us today and tonight. Pico is with us as well. Hey, guys. Thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it. Chris said, hey, Travis and Deep. Sophie said, hi, people. Sophie wants us to know, did you hear? Jack is no longer part of the WWE. His contract expired today, and the WWE decided not to renew it.
Who?
Did Jack?
Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Yes, I had heard about that like a week ago. No one cares about T-Bar. If they cared about T-Bar and Reckoning would have been something.
That's true.
All members of Reckoning are gone except for...
The Retribution.
Retribution. Except for Reckoning. She's the only one still around. And it's because she's got boobs.
It's true. She probably does a lot of knee work. Anyway, Sophie said tonight about 6 or 7 WWE superstars are making their Madison Square Garden debuts. Harley said hello to everyone. And Sophie said it has been a while since the WWE hosted SmackDown Raw in Madison Square. And Chris says live from Madison Square Garden. And Sophie says funny, W and WWE are both in New York this weekend. Chris says also Maestro's already fucking up the Mets as Altuve scores. Pico says happy Friday, Gab Gang.
How old is Altuve? He's
yo, Piccola.
What, like
Happy
36
Friday, man.
now or something? That dude's old.
Sophie says this upcoming Monday, the Money in the Bank ladder matches for both sides will be filled. And Chris says it's so fucked up, man. Tiffany is going to get screwed out of the Money in the Bank match because Jade will win unless they screw Jade over. Either way, it's a loss and doesn't make either woman look good.
I know, and on top of that, there's another one that has 3 broads that aren't even good.
It's true.
Indy Hartwell, I can't even remember the other 2's names. One's the new girl from NXT that was dating Will Ospreay, Davenport.
Oh, yeah, that weirdo.
And then there's another one in that, too. And it's like, why? No one cares. Triple H trying to make fetch happen.
Chris is like Tama Tonga wearing a reverse MJF t-shirt. Yeah, it says MFJ. I don't know what it stands for, but it sounds bad. Robert Warney is in the chat, but he retracted his first message and then said, what up? What up? Not much. How you doing tonight, bud? Harley says Rhea Ripley got married last Sunday. That bitch. Chris says I'm sad that T-Bar is gone and NXT was gaining lots of momentum as to Jack, and he was like Sin City character meets Big Boss Man. That's sad.
Oh, wait.
I guess I didn't like his storyline that much. And he's kind of a bigger guy, isn't he? So, good riddance. I mean, we have to have tiny little men. Like 12-year-olds
Hey, it's
out there.
Cody, KO, and Randall.
Sophie now reiterated what Harley just said. Rhea and Buddy Murphy got married this week. Robert says, I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Does
well,
anyone
of course.
care about
Thanks for
who
hanging
Rhea
out.
is marrying? And especially, why would she marry a jobber?
Well, I feel like that's usually what they end up doing because they're better than them.
Seth and Becky.
Yeah, but...
Becky's better than Seth.
Well, of course she is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but not like he's not a mid-carder.
Well, he also doesn't work for the other team, so...
He might. He wears some pretty flamboyant clothes.
I'm at AEW.
I know him.
Although they are kind of like that, too, but, you know. Sophie says The Rock was at the gym, not that far from where SmackDown is being held. And Chris says Shotzi all over social media. She needs her ass back in the ring. Hurry up. Harley says she got married to all the wrestling superstar Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
Robert says no problem. Sophie says Charlie Dempsey was just seen in the Impact Zone today. Harley says she got married the last Sunday, Sophie.
Is Jack Dempsey her father? Or whoever you're talking about.
Charlie Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey. Is Charlie a boy or girl?
I don't know. Who the fuck is Charlie Dempsey?
I was just wondering if their dad was Jack Dempsey. He was a really good boxer. From, like, the old days. Maybe Grandpa.
My question is, who the fuck even is the person?
Kevin Owens!
Oh, no. He threw himself.
Did he just go through
I think
one
he
of
hurt
the
his butthole.
Owens? Or was it a Tonga?
Oh, Solo forgot to let go of the ring.
Oh, that's nice.
What is it?
It's just like, we're going to put in a little corner. It does it every blue moon.
Sophie's letting us know that somehow AEW gained viewers.
Yeah, it's such a great movie.
Sophie says Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son. And as Chris said, too, Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son. Oh, so we're supposed to care, but we really don't.
So there's
Makes sense
zero
now.
shits given. Does he wrestle like Daniel Bryan?
Right.
Because that's how I picture a William Regal kid. Is that one of your favorite songs?
That's so much in the always.
It's a pretty good song.
People's like, okay. What's okay, Pico?
So
What is it?
The Cleopatra, Joan of Arc.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
Was he a bug? You know what the last thing that goes through a bug's mind when they hit a windshield is?
They're asshole.
Their asshole.
Somebody says we got 6,000 plus fans. They gained over 1,000 from last week.
Yeah.
Chris says, but Dempsey looks like Charlie in Chocolate Factory guy. What's his name?
The main guy?
Are you talking about the...
Gene Wilder?
Sure. What's his name? What's the character's name?
Willy?
Willy Wonka? Oh, Willy Wonka. Chris says, yes, Dempsey wrestles like Brian or Gunther type or Hermie. Ew, barf. Nobody cares then.
All three of those guys wrestle different.
Harley says, last time I remember WWE Becca Square Garden was almost a year ago when Roman and Solo turned on Jimmy and Jay. Oh, those bastards. Chris says, yeah, the Wonka, the original guy actor. Yeah, Gene Wilder. So he says WWE and Kayla almost agreed to a new deal before she said no. She wants to work somewhere. She wants to work somewhere?
Well, she's not going to work in WWE because she's already been replaced by Kathy Kelly and Redmond. Whatever Redmond.
Yeah.
Jackie.
You gonna make up your mind what you're doing, buddy?
Too many pretty women.
Dad's got a blankie. He's got the blankie.
Well, I'm going to lay back, but I got to get at least one good screenshot. It's still got the titles on there.
Oops.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil! What does it all mean?
Travis has found a new saying for the night. He's going to say it probably at least 12 more times. Everybody
Why
get your
wouldn't I?
shots out. Chris says, fuck yeah, my boy Jordan scores 2-0. Yes, Dempsey looks like Gene Wilder. It's hilarious. And Sophie says, in the old days, WWE used to go to Madison Square Garden like every week. Pico says, Leopold about to win the Money in the Bank. He already tried to get this one.
The women's?
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
What's on that one? What is that?
Where are you looking?
On top of it.
Stone Cold
what?
Steve Austin.
Himself?
Yeah, he's on top of it.
Oh, it's a headband thing.
Yeah, there's really no place to
Your
put
cat really, really wants to cuddle on the blankie. He's like, I just want to cuddle on the blankie, bitch. He's like, yes, yes, yes. He's like,
They found it in the closet.
well, of course it was over here in the closet.
I didn't
There's
know.
another one over here, too.
Well, I put that one there. I traded.
I can't hear what
Hey,
you're saying.
It's not a toy.
It's a toy. Chew it up.
It's not for eating.
Murder it. Bite it
With
with your
murder! Come on, Cody. They got a show to do.
So we said Kayla debunked that she is going to AEW because she don't want work with that RJ City guy.
Yeah, RJ
I don't know what
City.
that even means. Chris says, Travis, remember that Charlie reporter who was in WWE? Now she was in ESPN, now in Fox News.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that part, but... Yeah, I know who Charlie is. Charlie Caruso or whatever they call her.
Oh my gosh. They're all bad guys now. Being all mean to the security guys.
You remember when security guys used to be big? Now they're all these little indie wrestlers because they don't make big guys anymore, I guess.
They don't make big guys. There's like no such thing.
And so now all the security teams are tiny.
So if he says the screen flashed black like twice during this segment. Ooh. Probably because somebody had a bad thing out there in the audience.
Somebody said kill Roman or somebody.
Yeah, they probably had bad stuff again.
Crossroads.
Piccolo says, but we'll lose out to Logan Powell or Jay Meowso. That's probably true, Piccolo. I bet that's what's going to happen. Chris says Mina did another promo on AEW YouTube channel saying chin up. Then she shook her tits out and then said watch for shoe, just like Timeless Tony. Piccolo says, dang, Charlie was fire. Harley says, not watching SmackDown tonight, watching the 2024 NHL Draft. And Chris says, yeah, I remember when Charlie was being rizzed up by my boy Angel Garza.
Yeah.
Sophie says, so they are giving us that 6-man tag that is scheduled for Money in the Bank tonight. Wonder what that means for Money in the Bank then. I don't know. They've been crawling up his ass. No wonder he had to take a year off. I mean, when you get things like that up your butt, you really have to take care of it right away, or else it'll infect everything else.
Right. Yeah, anytime you get a tongan up your butt.
You have to be very careful. They're tiny, and that one chews a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a biter. Probably bites intestines.
Poor colon.
When he gets angry or gets very emotional, his lisp is way worse. I don't think they're your friends.
Kevin Owens headlined WrestleMania?
Nobody's your friends. Nobody's your friend.
I could have never guessed that he headlined WrestleMania. I want to know which one. That's crazy. No, he's never headlined WrestleMania.
Ha. And Chris is upset about Cody's spray tan. He doesn't like it. He says it's bad. Why? Why is it bad, Chris? I've seen worse on AEW. They look orange over there, so I don't know what your problem is.
Do it with Randy. Randy's looking at you.
Randy wants to murder you with murder. murder with murder. Murder. Still haven't found my pen for it, huh?
I'm sure it's just down on the
Lost
floor.
it forever. It's gone.
First of all, it's not yours.
Well, it was mine. And just because you're using it doesn't mean it's yours.
Oh, look at this.
Ooh, he's upgrading security to the police. The po-po. He don't see shit.
A seat filler.
seat
I don't even
filler.
see that.
What? I don't see that either.
That was a compliment.
Yeah, that was way too nice, buddy. You're being too nice still. Too nice. So it was like that was a cool segment.
Yeah, if you're into cool segments.
It is a sellout.
Do that.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing?
Turning it down as fast as I can.
What is it? What are you watching?
Nothing.
Why do you have that there? What are you doing?
Why is there 12 questions instead of
Because I want to know what
you're
you're doing and why you're doing it.
Standing here
No, you're not. You're sitting.
with my eyes.
Why do you have a phone in your face?
Because I can.
Go Tia Jones.
Is that what you do?
I don't know how to do that because I don't run.
Jump back and forth.
I can't do it.
can't do that.
I'd probably break an ankle.
Blah da da away. Blah da 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 da.
Harley says WrestleMania 3991 against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. Sophie says, we know we are getting Randy versus Cody at some point. The question is when. Harley says
what?
it was WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas when he faced Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, he didn't main event that pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure Roman main evented that pay-per-view. I'd have to go look.
Chris says, bro, this show is definitely going to be participant trophy show because Jobber showing up in MSG. How dare they? Well, like, you know, Jobbers in Madison Square Garden, it makes sense. Okay. Harley says, Kevin Owens headline Rush Me in 38 against Stone Cold Steve Austin and headline WrestleMania 39 with Sami Zayn against the Usos on night one of those WrestleMania.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Night one doesn't count.
Yeah, that's not considered a headline. Headline's closing show. Don't give people credit for stuff they didn't do. That's goofy shit.
Sophie says the LA Knight Logan Paul Santos match will be interesting to see which one of them is going to Money in the Bank and which ones will miss the pay-per-view next Saturday.
Probably all of them.
Probably. Weird. Alright, Piccolo says Meowny in the bank next Saturday.
Yeah.
Because it's all about cats. It's terrifying.
So you're saying that you want them to have a $3 tip?
Yeah, $3. So it says, do you think WWE will hold a pay-per-view in Madison Square Garden? At some point, it has been a while since they held a pay-per-view in Madison Square Garden.
It's because it's such a little venue.
I was going to say it would be too tiny.
But, I mean, it's always a fun one. They could easily do them. But it seems like they're selling those ones to other countries. The smaller pay-per-views.
Piccolo says, he says every, but I'm guessing you meant ever take a 20-minute nap? Yeah. Or every take a 20-minute nap? It's been raining all week. Well, it's not too bad, I guess. But it's been raining.
Did that say 60-meter?
100-meter hurdles?
I know what that said, but on the thing.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch it on the bottom.
She looks like she just woke up.
I wonder if the humidity is just insane or something. The 100-meter hurdles.
I don't know any of these girls.
You don't know Tia Jones? I feel like she should be somebody we should know. I don't know why.
She has her butt out.
Yes. That's exactly why.
She's like, I want people to watch me. So I'm going to have my hair all done and my ass out. Basically, they're saying lane 2 and 5 are going to finish first and second. That's what I've gathered off the camera work.
Yeah, because they're USA people. Oh, wait,
they
they're all
all were.
USA.
Well, 5's kicking
Ooh,
some
5's
ass,
kicking asshole.
but 6 is too.
Damn.
So 6 wasn't supposed to finish, and 2 didn't even qualify.
Nope.
They finished 4.
I don't think 2 qualified. It's Hurdles Heat 104. Damn.
Hey, they didn't even show you, girl.
She's like,
Good for
hi,
you.
I exist. Yeah, ahead of their scheduled class.
Yeah, it got ugly super fast. Do you have any water?
I mean, Sophie said we had weird weather all week, and Piccolo says I had to cut the grass last night. Normally I do on Fridays, but the lawn has been soaked recently. Oh, everyone take a 20-minute nap. That makes more sense, Piccolo. I'm like, what? I know, right? I want to take a nap. Chris says, so I've been watching reaction vids of UK people like Ravi react to American grocery store shopping like at Walmart. It's hilarious and also heartwarming to see the look on their faces. You know what's funny about them doing that is they have the same fucking thing. It's no different. They just try to make it out like it's some crazy shit. And it's like, don't be weird.
Like they don't have grocery stores or something?
Yeah, like they don't have grocery stores and they don't have like huge like big bags of chips or large things of soda or anything like that. Like, oh, I can see why America's so fat if they eat this all the time. And it's like, most of those are for families. Like, people don't always just get a large bag of chips and just eat it. Not normally. People do it. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying it's not normal. Wackos. They're so weird.
There's a girl from Rexburg that qualified.
In, what was it? The pole vaulting?
Decathlete or something like
Oh, decathlon?
Oh, it's Jiffy time. That's not flattering.
Which part?
Her lower half.
Yeah, she doesn't have like an indented waist, so it's really hard. So she doesn't have hips, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
See how she's just straight?
She has a face and now boobs. She don't have very good butt either. Ew. The great Simone Biles.
I don't know if I would consider that something to be proud of, but you know, hey, I mean, each their own, I suppose.
Is Tiffany gonna quit?
She's gonna be a quitter! Chris says when they see the prices, apparently they think it's cheap. Oh. Sophie says that indie deal with the WWE signed this week does also include NXT could do events there as well, and a great deal. And the deal goes into effect at the Royal Rumble. Piccolo says, so, did you see the Brits post a video recently eating In-N-Out with Kevin Bacon?
No.
No, because I don't really like a lot of celebrities anymore, so I would probably have to say no because I don't watch Kevin Bacon. Harley says, rest in peace to Roman Reigns' dad. Chris says, also, I'm like, that's nothing compared to my stores here in Texas. My stores here in Texas, like Hebe, right? Sophie says, Randy Orton has been pushing the WWE to bring back Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle confirmed that this week. I don't think they should, personally. I think he's a bad influence. Aoife's in the chat, though. Hi, Aoife. Good morrow. Chris says, it's motherfucking Tiffy time. Vlad is in the chat. Hey, Vlad. Hello. How good to see you tonight. Chris says, holy fuck, Tiffany. Goddamn. Sophie says, when do you think you could see guys like Jack and Ricochet show up in AEW or TNA?
90 days after they leave. Don't worry, they'll announce it before they show up because they don't like surprises.
Yeah. Yay.
It's definitely massive. It's a great call.
That's a great word to use. Massiveness. Pickle's like, yo, the weirdest thing happened to me at self-checkout. I bought an energy drink, was paying in cash. Oh, my. And Chris said, okay, guys, I'll be right back. I have to watch this match very closely. Wink. Ew! Gross, Chris! Granny! Clean yourself up before you come back. Ew. Sophie says, when the UK people react to stuff is funny as hell, especially when they haven't heard a song or seen a music video before. Vlad says some stuff, but I don't know what he's saying. It's nice to see you here, Vlad, and you're Russian. Eva says, I dropped the most expensive steak on the menu on the floor in the kitchen at work today. Plates smashed everywhere, went all on my shirt. Such a disaster. Did you have to pay for it out of your check? Like if you do stuff like that? Piccolo's continuing his paying at self-checkout with cash, buying an energy drink at the store. So I try not to bring change. And lo and behold, someone leftover change. I needed 56 cents and the leftover change was exactly 56 cents. That's a fucking sign. You better go buy a lottery ticket. Sophie says the debate yesterday drew more viewers than both WWE and AEW combined. Yeah, I don't really care. And I won't read any more comments about it. Aoife says it was okay because they just picked it up and put it on a new plate. It took 40 minutes to cook it. Like, I couldn't have dropped a lasagna or something.
That's funny.
So, you dropped a steak on the floor. They picked the steak up off the floor and then just cooked it? That sounds like a lawsuit. That sounds gross, Aoife. I'm not eating wherever it is you work at. Ever. Now that I know what they do in the kitchen. No. Ew. Pickle says, well, Sophie, I would hope so. So it says all three of these women are making their Madison Square Garden debut. Pickle says, it's the presidential debates. Yeah. So cool. Ravi's now in the chat. Hey, Ravi says, what the blood clot is happening tonight? We were talking about people in the UK looking at stuff in America and being over here at grocery stores and thinking that's weird that we have them because, you know, we're like a fourth world country and shit. Oh, God. Oh, my Jade. God. What's Nia doing there? Who's she going to save?
Where's her crown?
What's happening? Why is this happening on my TV? Bastards. Oh. There's a fight.
Settlement and I need cash now.
Travis's favorite commercial.
Call JT.
Jesus.
877 cash now.
me then. Wow. All right. Sophie said I didn't watch the video. If I want to watch two old people fighting, I watch old people with them. Cool. Robbie says, D, everyone has issues, so Matt Riddle being back don't make difference.
Yeah, but he pushes drugs on kids.
Yeah, I don't think
where you don't get
cool.
that from most others.
Yeah, I really don't care what you do in your free time behind the scenes or whatever. But he doesn't hide it. And he comes out basically high constantly. And like it's cool or something to be like that. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, let's not. You guys want to be all kid friendly. That's not really kid friendly. That's adult choices, not kid choices. Chris says, I mean, Tiffany versus Jade is a future SummerSlam or Mania Night 1 show ender, not a main eventer. Oh, that's mean. Robbie says, UK people have chance. Okay, Robbie, that's so cool, I guess. So he says, Nia versus Jade, they're teasing that again. Feels like Robbie speaking Jamaican, me crazy man. So he says, my aunt does that whole change thing. I don't understand at all. Eva says, the steak was cooked already. They just put it on a new plate. I was like, what? Where did you get this from? I didn't have to pay, thank God. They are nice like that. They wouldn't be so strict on that. Well, that's good. But that's kind of gross. So it was already cooked steak, and it was dropped. Was it dropped on the floor? Did you say it was dropped on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Aoife.
Go get Mom real quick.
That's gross. On the floor, and then they picked it up, and like
they probably get
they
it
served it to somebody.
It's just meat.
I don't care. That's gross. People walk all over that floor in their dirty shoes, back and forth to other dirty places.
Why
That's
do you think
gross.
it's so dirty?
Because it's a restaurant and the floor is probably filthy. Ew. Gross. I'm glad he didn't have to pay for it, though. That'd be crazy. So he says, I sometimes do the 5-second rule. I mean, it's different. I get it in your own house. But that's a restaurant serving a steak to people. Picole's like, sure. What are we sure about, Picola? Chris says last night, that's cool, Chris. I'm not reading that comment. I know I'm not reading comments about the debate. Sophie says this is thundering here a little bit. Chris says RVD also high. Well, I get it, but did he go around pushing it on kids? Like Riddle kind of just pushes it. And I don't care what you do with your life. I don't care. I don't care what you do in your own home. I don't care if it's illegal or legal or whatever. I don't care. What I care about is the fact that he comes out making it a priority to make sure everybody knows that he's high as fuck all the time. RVD doesn't do that. Even from what I've seen from him. Sophie says Matt Riddle was the generation's version of RD. No. Picole's like, Riddle is just an idiot. Yeah, I think so. Like, considering his choices that he's made after the fact of being in WWE, yeah, I think he is an idiot. I think the drugs, like, melted his brain cells. Aoife says Taylor Swift is in Dublin this weekend and everyone, like, obsessed. Yeah, I'm not. I know somebody who would be, and he's probably at the concert. He probably took his babies and everything, and that would be Luke. And he's never around, so I can talk about him and his obsession with Taylor Swift. Sophie says this New York crowd is kind of like the crowd you get in the UK or France. It's because it's such a small building. Aoife says the plate it was on smashed on the floor, and they just put it back. Yeah, it was either that or they would have got nothing. But, yeah, no, that's disgusting. Ew. And they served it to somebody? Ugh. Aoife. That's gross. That's so gross. Robbie's like, I would rather drink bleach than listen or watch Taylor Swift. Chris says, Bianca also looking good with a onesie. Aoife says, I think they did a 5-second rule. I don't care what kind of rule they're doing. That's gross. I mean, considering that poor person has no idea. Oh my god, is she just running and jumping, like warming up? I guess so. That's weird and funny. Oh no, she messed up. She must have messed up. Oh, I didn't see it. Adamantium? Like Wolverine? Oh no. Ooh, careful. Don't twist your arm off. Something happened. What happened? Well, I guess that's one way to save Jade. Have somebody else in the attacker. So. Harvey says, and I looked after a guy that drank bleach. It was not pretty. Oh, I'm sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's gross. Harvey says most of these wrestlers are on something else. What's the difference? The difference is, Ravi, is that they're doing it behind the scenes and it's not their persona in the ring. Like RVD, he may have done it, but that wasn't his persona in the ring. His persona in the ring wasn't, hey, I smoke a whole bunch of fucking dope all the time. I mean, great. Yeah, he did it in his personal life. Okay, whatever. But Riddle made it his persona. Like, he made it like, I'm a smoke dope kind of guy. Like, I'm so cool. Look at me. It's just gross. That's the difference. Eva's like, oh my god, I forgot about Luke. I remember when he was mod here. He's like, he's still a mod. He just never shows up. Bastard. Pico is like, oh my god, I miss Luke. Right? His kids are like 5 years old now. Sophie says, it looked like Riddle didn't want to be in the WWE at all when he was here. Chris says, yes, okay, Tiffany gets a win. Sophie says, in Florida, there are some restaurants that let you have your dog with you. That's fine. Eva says, girl, I had no idea. I was shook from the plate dropping. They just put it in my hand and was like, bring it. Like, so bad, though. That floor is nasty. That's what I'm saying. Like, there is no way that it's hygienic at all. Like, 5-second rule or not, it don't fucking matter. That's nasty. You have to watch an American movie called Waiting, Aoife. You work in a restaurant, I have to know, like, because I've never worked in a restaurant, like, if some of that shit actually happens, because that shit was nasty.
Who won?
Who do you think won?
I can't.
Guess.
Tiffany?
Yes. Do you know how she won?
Cheating?
Not really. She didn't really cheat. Nia Jax came down and kind of helped her, distracted Jade some. But then Bianca came down, and she was like all up in her face. And then Jade was going to get all up on Nia, but guess who came and threw her into the ring post? Mrs. Spaghetti's friend. That wrestling lady you like. Yeah, her.
She's going to wrestle next.
Indie wrestling. She
that'll cost her.
chucked Jade into the thing.
That's who her next feud's going to be with.
I don't know. I just know that she chucked her into the thing, so she was out cold on the outside, and Bianca ran after her. And so Tiffany got the win. She tried to roll up. She almost got rolled up by Mrs. Spaghetti. Then they did a move, and then something happened, and then Tiffany did her moonsault flippy flop thing off of the top rope or whatever, and then pinned her.
Top. was actually checking the furnace, but...
You were what?
Oh, I was just reading Sophie's chat about going to the bathroom during the bathroom break match.
Oh.
Which is hilarious.
Oh.
It was a bathroom break match.
But
the next one is worse.
People says, seriously, that is something that happens more often than not. Right, people? Like, I get it. Like, I just try not to think about it. But now that Aoife told me that it happened at her restaurant, I will not be going there. When I go to Ireland, I'm not going to go there.
What?
Gross. I'll be like, did you guys throw this on the floor before you brought it out? I've heard stories. I've heard things. So gross. Oh, man. Chris says, okay, so they screwed Jade, but maybe Tiffany made Tiffany look good. That's fine. Sophie says, now the money in the bank for the women is going to be either Chelsea or Tiffany. Sophie says, so Tiffany and Nia are a team now? It's because Tiffany, like, sucks up to Nia. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Like, she totally is like, you're my queen, blah, 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 blah. You're the queen, you're the queen, you're the... She, like, totally... The minute that Nia won, she was all over her telling her she was the queen. So, it makes sense. Chris says, Blair.
That's Lola Jones. Lola Jones.
Lolo? Number 6?
She just doesn't look the same.
Well, she's probably older. Sucks when people get older. Things change.
Dude, she was like the face. It is her. She definitely is aged. That's crazy. She was like the reason you won the Olympics at one point.
Sold out Madison Square Garden.
The one girl with her hair combed to the side. Oh, look. There's Reckoning.
Ew, God, her. Gross. Feels like he was the effing show. Sophie says AEW Dynamite has to get past 20 episodes so they outlive WCW Nitro. Sophie says, I think I have seen waiting. Robbie says, nah, that restaurant should be shut down, dropping food that's still serving it. He was like, haha, it probably does happen. Hygiene takes a backseat to making money, well, at least at my work anyway. I get it, but gross.
Oh, she didn't get a good start at all. She's
oh,
finished
no.
dead last.
There was one lady who didn't finish dead last on the last one, too, and I don't know what happened to her start, but it was weird. It's like she did something to her. Oh, you okay? Where are you going? Where are you running at? What are you doing? Why are you out there? You need to get sprayed? You're going to get the spray. Hey! Get off there. You little monster. Yeah, I'll spray you again. Want me to get you? I'll get you. Oh my God, why are they yelling so loud? It's distorting everything.
They don't like their microphones.
So Travis actually went to the bathroom during the bathroom break match. Ironic. Actually, no. He just said what he did. It had nothing to do with the bathroom. Were you checking to make sure the furnace was still working right?
Yeah, I pulled the hose off and water came out again, so I put my hand over the hose and then blew on it.
Yeah.
And I think I dislodged something. So maybe that'll work. That girl. That's what I was talking about. She reminds me of the tall girl on Spy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit, huh? The lady that plays her part, yeah. Robbie's like, no, Jack's laughing. Sophie says, when you go on a road trip, how often do you go to the bathroom?
Every rest stop.
Chris's medium got finished on her knees as soon as the camera shows up. Typical. Gross, Chris. Eva says, it defo happens in like every restaurant. Crying, haha, I'll make sure your food doesn't touch the floor if you come over laugh my ass off. I'll follow it. I go out to eat places. So it's not like it's, that crazy, but still, it's weird.
Ting, 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 ting. Sorry.
She limps when she runs.
Ting, ting. One leg. Making me make fun of people with one leg.
Nobody is.
No worse place to be than behind the man with no foots in a foot race.
No foots on a foot race. Oh, boy.
Catway is the greatest ever.
So these are pretty deadly in a match. It seems like it has been forever. At least Money in the Bank will be on at a regular pay-per-view times in like last 3 or 4 pay-per-views. Lame. Nobody wants about regular times. So these are customers are sometimes jerks too. They sometimes don't tip the waiter or waitress. Did the waiter or waitress not give good service?
You should tip first. Tip when you get there.
Be like, here's your tip. Because you know what you're going to eat. Because I usually do like a 15 to 20% gratuity depending. And so you'd have to know what you were going to order, like pre-know what it is. And then have it have changed down from. So like, oh, well, that's a $2 takeaway. Now you only get $18 tip. That'd be mean as fuck.
That's not how you do it.
Oh, that's not how you do it.
You actually just give it to them at the beginning, and you'll watch their mood will change. They'll be happier.
If you tip them at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tip them some before, and then be like, there's more later.
You know,
you did a terrible job. Good thing you got that tip at the beginning.
Does? Have you ever seen what he does?
Doesn't he just give them money?
He asks them how much they think they deserve.
Oh, yeah.
And his buddies are like,
if I had a whole bunch of money like him, I'd do that too, but I don't. I'm
How
poor.
much do you think you deserve? He's like, guys, I don't know, $20. Here you go. Other people are like, 100, just testing him. And he's like, it's the highest you've ever given. I don't know, 2,300, I think. They're like, what? No way. And he's like, what am I going to do with it?
What's the highest that he's ever, like, somebody's asked for, but
23.
But he didn't give it to him because they didn't get it.
No, he's never not done that.
Oh, okay.
He
probably had to stop doing it because people got around that he did it.
I doubt it. Most people that are in that profession are going to take advantage of it.
Aoife?
He's a different dude. Like, when he walks into a room, you just know. I remember
you really want to be on that blankie, don't you, buddy?
I remember watching him play basketball when we go to the Jazz games.
Yeah.
He's so fucking big. He doesn't have the same presence as, like, Jordan or Kobe or whatever.
Right. Chris says Tiffany Green team up in Money in the Bank match.
Tiffany Green.
Sophie says, did you hear LeBron James gets to play basketball with his son now since they are on the same team?
I did, yeah.
People's like, she's hilarious. Oh, that girl that we're talking about in that show. Love that
They're
show.
trying to give him 3 more year contract. I guess this guy's just going to play till he's like 50 or something. But if he does, then he'll be able to play with his other son also.
Huh.
I don't know how good his other son is, but... Why does Triple H talk like he's cool? It's so weird. Nobody talks like that. He still thinks he's in the 90s. The only question is, are you ready? Are you ready?
It's probably from his heart issue. Sometimes people with heart issues talk weird. They're breathless.
Oh, God. This is a long distance race. They're my favorite.
The 1,500
Said no
meter.
one. That's a mile.
Seems to be your favorite. You talk about it a lot.
A mile?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
My God. It's okay. Calm down. Chris says, oh shit, Elektra
fighting.
Lopez back out there.
Yeah, she always looks good, doesn't she? That girl in the yellow in third place right there is literally like fighting with the girl that's right behind her with the blue.
Fighting? Like,
Oh yeah, like pushing and shoving. I thought
would-
they were going to throw punches. Look at that girl out front. She's what they call a rabbit. See? Let's see it here. That's why they're showing it again. I'm like, wait, what? I'm surprised they showed it. Because usually when I talk about stuff, they don't.
That's not St. Pierre that you were showing that was in the back. The one that's fighting. The one in the yellow that was fighting.
Yeah, the one that's in second now. The one with boobs.
Yeah, St. Pierre.
That's what I said.
Well, she was the one in the back. You're like, oh yeah, her. Blah, 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 blah.
She's the only girl with boobs. And it's kind of weird looking when you see girls run with boobs.
Yeah, it's weird.
They have to wear like cross your heart bras backwards and shit.
Well, that one looks like a dude.
Yeah, but if it was, he'd be about 200 feet in front of him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
As Piccolo says, no one cares about LeBron James and his Nepo baby Brawny. I don't, so.
It's kind of weird that he's still around, but, I mean, obviously, there's reasons for it, and it can't be the money, because he makes more money from his shoes than he does for playing.
That's
So
funny.
there's got to be something more. Maybe he wants to be the greatest eventually.
And he'll never be.
But the problem is that you don't become the greatest
By being there the longest.
by just being there longer than everybody else.
Yeah.
That just means that your
It
numbers...
just makes you lame. Lame-o LeBron James-o.
No matter what he does, he can't take away all the losses that he's had in the finals.
Ooh, ouch.
No matter what.
They hit it where it hurts.
Like, don't lose when it matters.
You're like, stab, stab, stab. Eva says where it spilled was like so slippery because the steak juice and all, and I forgot it was there and walked straight in it, and my legs went out from under me. My boss, my coworker, caught me before I fell. Yeah, because that would have been gross. You would have fallen in all the meat juices.
She's in first
Then you would have
now.
gotten the meat sweats.
The meat juice. You don't want meat juice at work.
Sophie says, I wonder if any AEW talent is at Madison Square Garden to cheer on their former coworkers. I don't.
Every one of these girls is faster than I am.
True. Aoife says, I wouldn't mind, but they were both standing away from the spot, and I just ignored it and walked straight ahead like an idiot. It's all right, Aoife. We all do that. Robbie says, I don't tip the waiter who walked 2 feet away from my table to serve me. Fun that shit.
So the guys would be finishing. By the way, a guy's in front.
See? It's totally a guy. They better check their...
That's crazy that girls can run that in 4 minutes flat.
They better check their they better check that testosterone level of that dude right there.
It's not a dude.
It's a dude.
Doesn't even look like a dude.
Look, there's an Adam's apple. I see it. It's got testosterone. That girl's crying. She's like, I lost. Wah! Cry babies.
That was the guy they were going to call Sokoa. Was Jacob Fatu. But they decided to go with his original name. Caesar Sequoia or whatever.
Oh.
I told you about last week.
Yeah, the Caesar stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know girls ran that fast. They literally ran like a minute faster than I did when I was in 8th grade.
Excuse me.
1 minute faster when I was in 8th grade.
1 minute faster.
Do you know the 4 minute mark was like untouchable forever?
Huh.
And then one dude finally did it. He finally broke the full 4 minute mile. It was like this huge accomplishment. And within a year, like
everybody did it?
Like 40 other people did it.
Because they were like, oh, you can do that?
It can be done.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to do it.
And now the dudes run it in like 3:40 or 3:30 or something. It's ridiculous.
Pico says Jalen Brunson in MSG. What is that? Why does it keep doing that?
We know why. Somebody's got a sign or something. It must be straight back right there. Because it happened with Bianca and what's her name too.
Well, stop doing it because it's ruining my time.
They lowered it, the camera. Hey, look, it's Logan. It must be that yellow sign up there. It'll be on the Twittersphere.
I hope so. I want to know what it is now. Bastards.
Look at what he's wearing.
He's
ready
like,
for
I'm
the
America.
4th of July.
So he says, it's okay whenever I go to the barber or I tip the barber unlike most people. Is it true? Was there a time Eminem was canceled for some stupid reason? No, they tried. It never really happened.
Why would...
They thought they could cancel
There's no
Eminem.
such thing as canceling somebody.
They thought they could cancel Eminem.
It's such a phony thing.
Now we don't even get to hear what he says.
Yeah.
They're like, no, cut it out completely. I don't know what's happening, but it's stupid. Oh, so it's like, didn't LeBron James talk about retiring at some point? Doesn't college football start soon or something?
Oh my God, who did he bring? Jordan?
Do we? No.
No fucking way. Reggie Miller? Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, we thought it was going to be a cool person.
Somebody that mattered.
Oh, it was Tyrese, that guy that was out there in the thing. He was out there in the, behind the, whatchamacallit, somewhere.
Halliburton?
Behind the commentator's desk.
I thought it was going to be Reggie Miller.
So it says, does the college football start soon or something? And do we know if Pat will do his football gig like he did the last couple of years?
I don't know. I was thinking that's why Miz dropped the title so he could fill in for him. Because he did such a good job on Monday.
Pico says, are you also watching the gymnastics trials?
I'm just watching track and field right now. I would watch the gymnastics, but I guess it's not on unless it's on just NBC itself.
So it says, I can't wait for SmackDown to move to the USA Network so we don't have to see any of these blackouts and any other random stuff that we experienced in the Fox era. Yeah, sure.
Couple skinny dudes, like they're going to do anything.
Yeah, I'd like to see what would happen. Are they going to slap each other to death?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Bones broken, ankles. Those guys are multi-millionaires.
Yeah, and they're like really dainty. Well, it's really sad how dainty they are. Let's see. Pico had asked, are you also watching the gymnastics trials? We missed them, didn't we? Or did you watch it?
I just answered that by saying, unless it's on NBC, right now we're watching the track and field.
Yeah.
But if he's saying it's on right now, then I guess it would be on NBC.
I don't know. Maybe. Sophie said, I can't wait for SmackDown to move to the USA Network so we don't have to see any of these blackouts. Chris says Logan thinks he's Will Ospreay or some shit. That bastard.
He's 10 times better than Will Ospreay.
Sophie says, why are the Olympic trials so long? It seems like they are somehow longer than the Olympics.
It's about 3 weeks. It is the Olympics, but just for Americans. It's the same thing.
It's just our country.
It's just Americans competing against Americans.
Pico says, my PR was 14:40 for a 2 mile. I hate running.
14?
My lord, Picola.
For the 1 mile? Or the
2.
Oh, okay.
2 mile.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie says, hello, who's your mate on now? I don't know. And ham roll of the week goes out to this guy in this match. Which one? Santos or Logan or...
I mean, I think that LA's probably going to win this.
What does it look like to you?
Oh, ball.
It looks like a ball.
An Audi belly button?
It's like a boob.
Oh, put that boob in your mouth. Should have licked it. 2, Ed! So close. I still feel like they should do ladder matches to qualify for a ladder match. But I don't know what they would get, because you always have to get, you can't just climb a ladder and win. You have to grab something. So it'd have to be something. So what would it be if you had to climb a ladder to win to qualify for Money in the Bank, what would you have to grab?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Like a brass ring. They could do like a ring.
Right.
But I feel like it should be LA Knight. But I have a feeling LA Knight's going to wrestle Logan. So Santos will probably win this. But that's just my guess. Why these two are just beating the crap out of each other. But who's going to get pinned?
I don't know.
Or is it... They can't do a count out, huh? I was like, is it going to be a double count?
It's Santos. He's going to win.
Well, how?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Is Logan... Because there's no disqualifications.
LA Knight going to get a chance? Maybe he'll get the...
And pin Santos?
Uh-huh.
The only two people I can see getting pinned are Santos or LA.
True. Sophie's like, every time I try to run, I fall on my knee.
What the...
That's a weird
Does your
coordination.
leg just not work?
It's a weird coordination issue. Every time I try to run, I just think how much I'm not going to do it. So he says with them not renewing T-Bar's contract, people blaming that on Triple H, but it sounds like that is a TKO decision. Chris says, LOL, it was so funny. Logan said he beat one of the Nelk boys. He is Bradley Martin, an influencer guy who had a podcast as well. And is like 260 pounds. Allegedly, Logan says he beat it was off camera.
He did. He told that to President Trump. So I've only watched that one time in my entire life. And it was the one with Trump on there. And they had talked about that. It was a big, strong dude, but he had no experience in any organized fighting or wrestling or anything.
Uh-huh.
And Logan won, but there's no media or anything. They just wanted to see who would win in the back.
So he says whenever they do TV in Madison Square Garden, usually a debut or a major surprise happens. And then Chris continues and he says, but the Bradley Martin guy had no fighting experience like you just said. And so Logan had advantage. But I don't know, man. He is a big guy. But Logan was probably trolling saying he beat him since it was off camera.
Yeah, but he also said it to the president. I don't know if he would lie to...
It'd be weird to lie
and on
about
your
something
podcast,
like that.
because you, like, with no receipts on your podcast and have, you know... a president on there?
That girl's way in the back. She forgot how to run a mile.
It's early still. Oh, no, it's not. This is it.
No, that's what I meant. Look how far back that one girl is.
There's two together back there.
They're like, forgot how to run.
See, there's one coming up from behind.
Yeah, she ain't going to make it. They're almost... They kicked it
don't
up
have
a notch.
kick. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. There, those two.
Oh, no, there's another one. There's like more back there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, they aren't even the ones in the very back.
I could tell you the girls never had bodies like that when I ran track back in the day.
All svelte like that. They were built like those javelin throwers. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if you watch the javelin throwers, but they're thicker girls. Mm-hmm. Robbie's like, LOL, lick it, LOL. So if he says a ladder match to qualify for a ladder match, then people will complain about why we have a lot of ladder matches on TV. Chris says, so if Logan is better than Ospreay, he is also better than Omega.
I don't know. Omega is maybe never wrestle again. I don't know what's going on with there. I just hope that he'll end up being okay. But it sounds like if he ever gets hit, he could be injured for life. So, like dead. It almost killed Brock. Meaning it could almost kill anybody. That guy's not normal. Oh, God. And when I say better, I mean like better all around. Not just in ring work. I know a lot of people just think wrestling's what happens between rope to rope. But Logan's way more athletic. If you just go by athleticism. And he's way better on the mic. Bruv. But I don't think anybody would argue if Logan had the same experience as Ospreay, he would be better.
So he says, don't worry, the second debate is scheduled to happen soon, but I forget when. Cool. So he says AEW this Sunday, it has like 13 or 14 matches on the card. Expect a 10-hour pay-per-view. For people who are going to watch it, which isn't us.
I'm going to watch it.
Lie. Robbie says, message retracted. Also, there is a technique to running, isn't there? And you need the right sneaker.
I mean, those Kenyans can run in bare feet for 20 hours straight.
It's not about sneakers.
But yeah,
It is about technique on how long you can run, or if you're a fast runner, or if you're a distance runner.
There's your paces, but there's only one way to get faster, and or two ways to get faster, sorry. That's stride length and stride speed. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that your body can maintain with the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to change your consistency till the end. And then your stride length. But you could trade your stride length without changing your stride consistency and become faster and more relaxed while you're running.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there is a lot of technique in running. You always want to land with your foot under you. But most people think that you put your foot out in front of you and it lands and then pulls you through.
No, you're pushing yourself forward.
Yeah.
You want to push yourself forward. So you're using your foot as a, whatchamacallit, like when they go off the line when they're starting.
Yeah, it's crazy like how much technique there is in just running.
Yeah.
And the more you learn in the technique, and able to replicate what you learn, it's very easy to learn a lot of shit. Then you go out there and the gun goes off and you just run as fast as you can and fucking run all sorts of stupid.
Yeah. So he says, so is Logan Paul better than Adam Cole then?
Adam Cole? What the? Why would Adam Cole be in the conversation? That's weird.
So he says there was no sound for a while on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably saying bad words or something.
The crowd's chanting. Holy
Robbie says,
poop.
but Logan, does he have moves? Are you watching? He sometimes has moves depending on who he's up against in the ring. Sometimes you have to take your talent and downplay it to the talent that's there. We can't hear the commentators, people, because you guys won't shut the fuck up with whatever you're saying.
Yeah, the crowd should just be quiet.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm not a big fan.
They need to be quieter. American fans suck. They're too loud.
Well, it's not that they're loud. They can be loud. It's what they're saying that makes it bad. They should be whispering in the commentators' ears to be like, we're sorry that we're having some technical difficulties. We know they're not having technical difficulties. They're just liars.
I feel like they're feeding their signal to Fox, and then Fox is just like, black. Through black. You know what I mean? Because
Like
if they were editing it themselves...
A cat's on the soundboard. And mute.
There he goes!
We know what happens when the cat gets on the keyboard. Shit happens! Lots of shit happens! You have no idea what happened, but it happened. Like, how did you even do that? I don't know, but he did it.
Look at this, Swanton. No one else does it like that. That's like Montez Ford athleticism.
Fuck.
Give him his ring. Give him a ring.
He's like, oh, hey, I need my ring. He's like, hey, you got it? He's like, yeah, I do, buddy. He's like, oh, these are nice. These are nice. Oh, huh. These are really sweet and pretty.
Oh, God.
They gonna slap each other?
It's game 8.
Somebody just break an ankle. It'll be fine. I don't know. That guy's kind of short and squatty. He might be kind of thick. This guy's like a little beanpole. He'd be in trouble.
Longer reach.
Doesn't matter. His arm would probably break before it even got there.
Hurry, give him the brass knuckles. Jalen, pay attention.
Oh, God.
Damn it.
He's like, here, you need these? Whoops.
Now go hand it to him.
Oh, it's the men's 400-meter hurdles.
That's fun. That's one lap. Logan's got him. Nope.
Oh.
Oh, Logan.
Ah.
Got him.
Nikki Bella at the pin on Logan. Wow. That's interesting.
Logan,
well, there you
taking the
go.
L.
Robbie's like, yeah, sneakers of some sort of quality also help. I saw it on a video on it. I mean, we're not saying the sneakers can't help, but your technique is going to be what gets you further than your sneakers.
That's funny. So I sent her a picture, Ayla, a picture of this a while back, and this is actually hers in her yard. She actually put that up. That's funny that she did it, because I was like, oh, you should put up a... Because she said there are squirrels back there.
Oh.
How cool is that?
That's cool.
We need to do one.
Why didn't you just get one? Why does she have one? Why don't we have a bench?
Oh, we're not cool, I guess.
You're rude.
Oh, no.
He thinks he's cool because he's got a chair.
Imagine that, the Knicks trying to cheat. No way.
Is he going to make it official?
There's no way either one of those touches each other. Under contract with NBA teams.
Right?
Both of them.
Get the commissioner on the phone. Oh! So he's like, I take my dog out for a walk when it isn't scorching hot or raining. It's probably a good idea. So is this a new thing? You guys take off pay-per-views when they land on a Sunday? No, we're taking off the pay-per-view for AEW because it's the stupid, dumbass Forbidden Door shit. Nobody cares about that.
We didn't do it last year either.
We aren't doing that one. It's dumb as fuck. Don't know anybody and don't care. Piccolo says, are you a heel toe runner? Heel toe.
No. How can you run heel toe?
You better not be a heel toe
I don't
runner.
even know if that's possible.
Oh, Piccolo. Who's Adam Cole? Stop, Piccolo. Stop.
Anyways, yeah, use the balls of your feet.
Chinoso's in the chat. Hey, Chinoso, good to see you back. Haven't seen you for a while. So hello, everyone. Hello. So he says, do you think we could see Brock return after being gone for months? Who knows?
Absolutely can.
Piccolo says, wait, these basketball players are part of the Angle? I guess they are when you're in New York.
At Madison Square.
Sophie says, now the Money in the Bank match for the men became a little bit more unpredictable. Piccolo says, Chugs literally has more Twitch hours the past 3 years rather than being dumb baby working in the ring. Chris says, yeah, that's the worst Money in the Bank match lineup ever. Sophie says, so they are setting up a tag match, team match. Piccolo says, and it's rubbing off his partner too. Oh, God, Piccolo, no, not the partner rubbing. Chris says, what the fuck? Robert Kennedy said he will replace Biden Justin. Oh, cool. Sophie says, in the early days of this Fox partnership, we didn't see this many censorship like we have this past year. Piccolo says, Halliburton is the real heel, boo Pacers. And Chris says, damn it, Mets fucking us up now 3-2.
Every time you get excited, you lose. Stop getting excited. This guy's terrible.
I hate Carmelo Hayes with a passion of hate. What the fuck is he even saying? Is he saying words?
It was cryptic. He's terrible.
I'm already tired of his bullshit. Chris says, damn it, the Mets fucking us up now 3-2. So he says the Mets did beat the Yankees this week. Robbie's like, Money in the Bank, more like Monopoly Money in the Bank, because that contract is as useful as toilet paper. Xi Jinping in the chat. Hey, Xi says, all you have to do. What is it? What do we have to do? Is believe. Ooh. Sophie says, have you heard of a show called The Middle?
Yeah, McKenna watched it when I was a kid. Or she was a kid, not me.
Well, he passed away, so they're giving the thing to him.
Yeah, he died. Did you see they're starting to work on that again?
Oh, he was just out there. What is it?
The intersection down here.
What?
They're going to finish it.
What was there to finish?
They have to put the lights up.
They have 2 of them.
I know, and then they stopped. But they're putting them up soon, and then it'll be done.
People says that one family show back in the day, right? I was like, D definitely believes. Oh, Chinoso says he needs Solo to take that title off Cody. I hate Cody so much, barface. Oh. Sophie says, I have seen mixed reaction about this Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Some people like the concept and some people think it should die. I just don't care about the concept. It'd be different if you like, you know, like other stuff. What are you doing playing on your phone like that?
What do you mean? Would you like me just to hold it?
I don't know why you have to look at it at all.
I was looking at a trade. Somebody offered me Justin Verlander. The only way I'm taking Justin Verlander is if his wife comes.
Like, never mind.
Yeah, she has to come over here. So it's not happening. Here we go, hurdles.
Robbie says WWE need to fix up their tired pay-per-view formats. See?
Yeah, cut it down to like 4 a year. And they just make some fun live events every once in a while in other countries. Like on a Wednesday or something.
In these races, is it better to be on the outside or the inside?
Inside. It honestly doesn't matter. They're all the same length, but...
It seems like they're not, huh?
But...
That guy runs weird.
Few of them.
Him.
Yeah.
Even though he's in front, he runs really weird, awkward looking.
Very lengthy.
It's not that, he just runs.
Oh my gosh, it was so hard. I remember it being in 8th grade and running hurdles because it was like easy.
Yeah.
And I was already fast, so it didn't matter. I didn't have to change much.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, welcome to 9th grade. And then the hurdles were as tall as I was. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I would have to stop to jump over it. Did he get it? No. It's 3rd.
He was hoping.
I remember starting at one time in lane, but in our schools they only go to 6. This is obviously way bigger.
Right.
Starting in lane 6, and it was the 200, and I was like, I'm already so far ahead of everybody. You know, like, so I like didn't really run hard. Like by the time I had to run the last 100, I was like in 6th place. I still won, but I had to like catch back up.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you don't want to be out in front of everybody. That's why lane 1's best.
That's funny.
That way you're playing rabbit the whole time. Or not playing rabbit, but you're chasing the rabbit the whole time.
Right.
But if you asked a professional, and it's a straight race, you want to be like lane 3, 4, 5 in this when they have all those lanes. You're in the middle.
Let's see. Sophie said, with WWE and TNA having this type of partnership, do you see them doing a WWE versus TNA pay-per-view?
No. I could see a War Games match, but not a whole pay-per-view. But I could see it at Survivor Series. Or in NXT. Oh, here we go. Whew.
Like his head should have came off with that. Like how he was flinging himself around. Like, oh my god. Chris says, we can't lose Verlander, man. He just left us last year and came back. Robbie says, not how many, just the quality of them. Oh. Yeah, they're pay-per-views. So he says WWE did consider doing what Travis suggested at some point regarding their pay-per-view concept. Chris says, yeah, and they need sexy women show WWE programming, and no, I'm not talking total divas, lol. Chinoso says, Cody seems so tough now, but I know Randy will backstab Kevin Owens and then go after Cody too. Randy is a viper. Can anyone see these? The way he looks at Cody's title is so obvious.
Yeah, he looked at it tonight. It was like...
That's mine.
When Cody said, I could be wrestling for this title, instead I have to wrestle in a six-way, blah, blah, blah. And Randy's just staring at it.
Sophie says, does anybody remember the 8th grade? Because I barely do.
Yeah, I remember 8th grade. I read Jurassic Park.
It's true. Chinoso says Randy is just still playing the game with Owens and Cody because he hates the bloodline. I bet you Randy and Cody matchup will soon come to pass. Sophie says, I think they should give the brands their own specific pay-per-views back. Randy did turn on Bray. That is how we got that horrible Mania match.
No, we don't want brand-specific pay-per-views. That was terrible. You remember when they were doing like 2 pay-per-views a month? That was a lot. I have 24 pay-per-views a year. Blah, 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 blah. It was all SmackDown. Or all
God.
Raw.
That's terrible.
I need to sleep for 20 minutes. Go. He's speaking English. Maybe not that.
He's speaking Spanglish. It's a mix of Spanish and English altogether. Some words are English, some words are Spanish, but you don't know what he's saying unless they have closed captioning. It's good.
I fight to destroy.
Chris says Andrade copying Alberto Del Rio, saying it his destiny to win Money in the Bank. Yeah, we all know what happened to Alberto Del Rio. He's like in prison.
Didn't he rape a girl?
Yeah, because he's in prison.
You know he was married to Paige?
Yeah.
They were married.
Yeah, they were.
After her her movie release.
Her porn star debacle. Chris says, here is Blair Davenport. And Sophie says, they sometimes give us 2 pay-per-views a month, though. People's like, so Blair Davenport is Willie's ex? Yeah, it's his ex. I can see why, too.
Kind of looks like a dude in the face.
She's not exactly hot.
Her body's not bad, but her face looks like a dude's face.
It's very weird.
I think it's her jaw, not her whole face.
It might be.
Because she is feminine in the upper part of the face, but her jaw makes her look like...
She has very manly square jaw.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Chris is like, yeah, Del Rio fucked Paige at least. Chinoso says, yes, Chris, Alberto Del Rio trained Andrade, so he deserves to copy his mentor, though. Quentin's in the chat. Hey, Quentin says they forgot the MSG clip from 2009 where Kofi Kingston did a bomb drop on Randy Orton. Those bastards not giving credit to Kofi Kingston. Chris says, fuck Travis, I know you'd say that. She looked like a dude.
Dude look like a lady. Dude look like a lady.
Dude, she's gonna get fucked up, old Indy.
Indy gonna get beat up by Jade.
Espen. It's an Espen analyst.
Ryan Clark. It's
an
funny because they're talking about him in ESPN analyst, but I think of him as a Pittsburgh Steeler football player.
He's an Espen analyst.
He's an analyst.
He's an analyst.
Oh, this is the other one.
This is the garbage one that you said nobody should win.
Yeah, this is one that Jade or Tiffany should have been in.
Well, we know who's going to win this. It's all garbage. I don't even know why we're watching. Can we change the channel? Pickle's like, whatever she fit, bruv. Sophie says, this is an interesting match to be the co-main event of the show. What does it matter, Sophie? Co-main event. It doesn't really fucking matter.
It's not. It's like it's a co-main event. Stop.
We're not watching boxing or UFC right now.
Even those aren't co-main events. The best fighters still go on last. Hey, this is a co-main event, so you feel better about yourself?
So feel better.
This isn't a participation trophy.
Well, it is for some of them in the ring. Pico is like, whoo. And Sophie says, yesterday marks 13 years from the CM Punk pipe bomb. And Chris says, Blair should win. And Pico says, Ryan Clark, he played baseball or foosball?
Football. He was a safety.
Football.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He was a football player. Now he's an analyst. Oh, look, they're going to work together, they say. Weirdos.
Hopefully this is over soon.
Sophie says, wonder what is going to close tonight's show. And Rob is like, who are the jobbers on now? Are you talking about these women that are in the ring right now?
Honestly, you've got it right. There's 3 jobbers in there.
People's like CM
Oh
Punk
my God.
ice cream bars, bruv.
There's nothing worse than stopping in a wrestling match. Because you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Chris says Raw will be in Boston Monday. LOL. Travis didn't know who the bad boys from Boston were.
Bad boys from Boston.
Nobody knows who the bad boys
I still
from
don't
Boston
know
are.
who the bad boys from Boston are. Did you tell me already?
Rob is like, hello, nah, D, I'm talking about you. What the fuck?
Bad boys from Boston. Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz. Pedro Martinez when he threw the old man down to the ground. That shit was classic. Zimmerman or whatever his name. Remember that? Pedro like threw an old man to the ground.
Weird. Chris says, yeah, Blair, great body, but yeah, face is fucked up. Hugo says, my thoughts exactly. Can I go to sleep? Yeah, dude. I feel you, man. Just go take a nap. Dude. Although, I'm
that?
like...
She just jumped over the steps. I think you were supposed to hit him. Oh, God, that looked like it hurt.
Did she say words with her yelling?
Yeah,
I feel like words were not said. Sophie says, with NXT having an open door policy, you can see people that have worked for the WWE before to show up in NXT at some point. And Chris says, yeah, I said it was Aerosmith, the bad boys from Boston. Oh.
Aerosmith?
Aerosmith.
Isn't there a band called Boston? Are they the bad boys from Boston?
I don't know, but
Oh, that's right. He did tell me that last week. Or this week. Bad boys from Boston. Aerosmith. I only like 6 or 12 of their songs. But I can only think of one right now. What song am I thinking of? Aerosmith.
I don't know.
It's my favorite.
Don't look at the TV.
Does that guy have no bottom half?
No bottom half.
It's like that show with the guy from Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And it's Walk Hard.
Yeah.
And he cuts his brother in half.
Yeah.
And the little brother's or his older brother's dying. And the wrong kid died, damn it. And they're like, the doctor comes over and he's like, well, we don't have any surgeries. Put the top half to the bottom half. Damn it, doctor. We're normal people. We can't understand all that medical talk. He's been cut in half. Guy just had no bottom half.
Aerosmith song. I don't know. Pico said More Than a Feeling.
Sweet Emotion.
Sweet Emotion.
It always is Sweet Emotion. There is no other Aerosmith song.
Chris says that. Sophie says that when Travis was in school, we had dinosaurs. We still have dinosaurs, Sophie. They're called birds.
Chickens.
Pico said, alligators or crocodiles or whatever. They're fucking dinosaurs too.
Yep, birds and crocodilias, turtles.
Dinosaurs still are around.
Sharks.
So technically, Sophie, guess what? When you were in school, we had dinosaurs. Hilarious, huh?
But yeah, I wrote a Stegosaurus.
Pico's like, I mean, that's okay. And Chris says the Dream On song.
Dream on, dream on, dream on.
Walter's in the chat for a second, says, hi, Travis, hi, Daphne. I saw Die Hard Heart 2 with John Cena and Kevin Hart. Good movie. What?
What movie is it? I want to watch it because I like John Cena.
What? People's like, bruh, Ragdoll, that's my jam.
Right now, living in a right now, living in
Piccola, I think you're just trying to say bruv for like shits and giggles to make it cool, but it's not cool.
Bruv is probably the coolest word that can be said in the English language. Not our English, but English. Besides, I don't know any other ones. Chip, chip, cheerio, maybe? No, bruv. Chip, chip, cheerio, bruv.
I don't think he meant John Cena. I think it was somebody else. Can't be John Cena.
Dun, 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 dun. Sure can.
I don't think so, because...
Pole vault. Up, over. She did it. She cleared it. She did it. Gold one. Kate Moon.
Pico said that, and Robbie says, people are getting old when they like to rock out to Boston and Aerosmith. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't know Boston. I don't know any of their songs. I'm sure I do, but I don't know any of their songs. But Aerosmith, they're generational. They were popular in the early 70s, the 80s, and then a big resurgence in the 90s. And I don't know if they've done anything since, but... Oh, God.
Walter says, okay, bye guys, see you Monday for Raw. But there's AEW pay-per-view this Sunday. We won't be here Sunday, but we'll see you on Monday, Walter. Pico says, I enjoy crying. It truly is, bruv. And Walter says, it's good comedy, isn't it? Oh, okay. That's good.
What is it?
I don't know.
And why is it a part 2 and I've never seen part 1?
Die Hard 2. Die Harder. Guess that was an official trailer.
Oh, God.
You got 2 stars out of 10.
Oh, so you know it's good.
I guess he did a Die Hard movie. Kevin Hart did.
With John Cena?
I don't think John Cena was in it.
We know Indy's a powerhouse. Corey Graves. We know Indy's a powerhouse.
That's the biggest lies ever.
Didn't Naomi used to have boobs? Did she get a boob reduction?
I don't know. It could just be her outfit and how squished it is or something too.
There's nothing there.
She might not be wearing a bra of any kind. Who knows? Pickle's like, see you, Walter. And Robbie says, nah, you're saying it all wrong. You would say as a greeting, what's happening, bruv? Cool, yeah. He doesn't care. He's just saying bruv to be bruv.
It's cool, bruv.
Like, everybody's bruv. Like, this is bruv. Man, that's totally bruv. I'm just going to use it in context where it doesn't make any sense. And see how cool you guys like it.
Bruv.
Bruv.
It's like saying dude, but just bruv.
Like, oh my gosh, those bruvs are so weird. Look at them fall down with their bruv.
Look at all these bruvs running, bruv.
Chris says, oh, it's so funny. Will Ospreay fought his ex Blair in the UK before they went out. I guess that's what won him over. So I guess you wrestle, you fuck then. Usually that's how it works, Chris.
That's how it works there. That's why wrestlers don't bring their wives. It's a bad idea to be married to a wrestler if you're a wrestler. It ever ends well. That's why Rebecca Quinn changed her name to Rebecca Quinn, by the way. She trademarked it.
Becky?
This week.
Oh, really?
Rebecca Quinn. It's her real name.
She trademarked her name? Why?
Maybe she's going independent.
Huh. Pickle says, I'm pretty disappointed in y'all, per usual.
It's all right,
with your
bruv.
movie choices.
It's all right, bruv. What movie choices? I haven't even...
Are you talking about Die Hard 2? Are you making because we haven't seen it? Is that why? Didn't even know it existed. Go, Jade. Smack her around. That guy fell down at the end.
It sucks that Jade's cheating, but whatever.
How is she cheating?
What the
That's not cheating.
She's there.
Okay, Indy Hartwell came down and did the same thing to her.
No excuses.
That's the same thing. Tit for tat. I just don't think they should have make it so this dumb bitch wins, but I knew it was going to happen.
She just smacked her ass. That's hilarious.
Yeah, barf.
Boo.
Chris is like, MF Naomi won. Yeah. Pico's like, Bella, and appreciate the context. Robbie says America will never understand the world's slang. That's what is funny to me.
We don't
Robbie,
need to.
just because you live in the United Kingdom / England doesn't mean you're the world. Stop it. Just fucking stop right now. That's ridiculous and gross, man.
Not to mention, we don't need to know the slang.
Yeah, I don't really
When
give a flying fuck about your slang. As if you know our fucking slang. Yeah, fuck off, man. Like, you don't know any of our slang.
I don't even know any slang.
Oh, you have all kinds of slang.
I don't slang.
Sophie says Madison Square Garden is a great place for wrestling. I was there for Survivor Series in 2002.
That's awesome.
How many Die Hard movies are there? 12.
Die Hard.
Chris says she's Rebecca Quinzel, a.k.a. Harlan Quinzel, a.k.a. Harley Quinn. People says, no, I could never watch Kevin Hart and his idiotic same character. Dude, I can't. The only one that I've ever watched him in, 2 that I've watched him in, Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
One is Central Intelligence, which is fucking hilarious. And the only other one is Get Hard with fucking Will Ferrell. And that's the only ones I've ever seen him in, remotely ever watched Kevin Hart in.
If you haven't seen him, you need to watch him right along. It's fucking hilarious, too.
I've seen it, did not like it. I saw it. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
There's 2 of them, and they're hilarious.
Probably why I didn't watch the second one, because I didn't really like the first one. Pico says they're talking about the no sell of Nosferatu. That movie will slap.
What the hell's that?
I don't know. We talked about it last time, but refused to tell us anything about it, so.
Why is the 80s colors coming back? This orange and pink stuff. That was a pretty good jump. She's lucky she didn't get poked. Bum, 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 bum. Bum.
Are you talking about the vampire movie then? Nosferatu? Vampire movie that's based off of the vampire silent movie from 1922? Interesting.
That sounds cool. Send me a link. Way more.
He says, and like Deadpool vs. Wolverine in a Quiet Place prequel. Never watched the actual Quiet Place movie, really, so don't care about the prequel or the second one. Not a huge fan of Deadpool movies. Nope. I have a hard time watching them. I did like Wolverine movies. That was about as far as I went in any kind of stuff with X-Men. Sophie says, so I'm guessing that women's match was the main event match. What an interesting call. Really? There's 20 minutes left.
Well, not quite. About 16, but yeah. 15.
People says slanging and banging. And Robbie says, oh, I know American slang. It was pushed on us Brits in the 90s. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the only time the Americans had slang? Jesus Christ.
What slang did we use?
Dude, fucking stop. Like, you better stop in your tracks right now. Sophie says, I think I only saw the first Die Hard movie. And Chris says, yeah, I saw the trailer for Nosferatu. It looks scary as shit. Same people who made the Witch movie.
I watched Die Hard 2 about 7 times before I watched Die Hard 1. I honestly didn't think Die Hard 1 could be as good as Die Hard 2. Because I had watched it so many times.
Die Hard 2?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it way more than I've watched Die Hard 1. And then when I watched Die Hard 1, I wasn't impressed with it. but I still like it, and I will watch Die Hard 1 anytime, any day, and Die Hard 2. They're both good. Are those two dating, you think?
Yes.
They're holding hands.
Maybe. Maybe they wanted to end together. Maybe it was their bestest time they've ever had in their whole lives. They're probably just kids. Robbie says, Kevin Hart, is he really that funny? How would I know? And your faces are saying so.
We do know that he hung out with Diddy a lot, so he's got that over his head.
He's got the Diddiness. Sophie says, Die Hard, the only thing I know about it is a lot of people online fighting if it's a Christmas movie or not. Chris says, no, Nosferatu is a classic black and white vampire movie. Yeah, it was a silent movie from 1922. It's a dramatic silent movie.
It's the one with the scary vampire in it.
Yeah.
We've all seen that.
Yes.
Know that.
Yep. Picola says Robert Eggers. He directed The Witch and The Lighthouse and The Northman. Well,
oh, fuck you.
I'm not watching it then because The Northman was the most shittiest fuck-off movie ever seen in my entire life.
Movie ever made, and I cannot stress it enough.
Never.
Holy shit.
Blech. And I don't care what you say if it has the best cinematic crap ever. Picola, good for you.
In my entire life,
oh my god,
not been able to make it through a movie. And I've seen some shit shows, movies. I've never not been able to make it through a movie. And that movie, there was probably like 20 minutes left, and I was like, I can't. This is so fucking dumb.
We literally take every stupid fucking movie that we watch and compare it to The Northman to see if it's even fucking stupider than that.
Right, because anytime I see a dumb movie, I go, but is it as bad as The Northman? And it's like, no, it's
hated
not.
that movie.
So I can make it through.
And I get why people in the cinema world think it's a cinematic effect. It's the most cinematic, blah, blah, blah. They can have their opinion about it. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you this much. I fucking hated that movie. I really hated that movie.
It was the part when they were like,
I thought it was going to be so good, too.
Do you remember when they were all on fire and they were fighting in the forest or whatever?
Oh, my God. I try to forget everything about that thing.
That's the last scene I watched. That's when I turned it off.
I try my hardest to forget everything about that fucking thing. Everything. Like, every single part of that god-awful movie. And I had such high hopes for it, too. Because all they showed were little highlights of it, and I hate it when they do that because all of a sudden, it's like, it's the best movie ever! And we're just like, what?
It was like a revenge movie that never got revenge. I don't know if you ever did because I turned it off, but it wasn't worth my life.
No, we watched it to the end.
No, there's no way I did. That was the last scene I watched. Was that fire? Was that
you may have stopped watching it, but we watched it to the end. We literally watched it because we were like, "Well, something's got to happen." No, it never did. It never happened. Nothing happened.
Does he die? He probably dies.
No, yeah. Feels like now Eggers is bringing back the OG vampire movie. Yes. Well, I hope he doesn't fuck it up because one, I'm a huge Dracula fan. Okay,
oh, yeah.
Huge Dracula fan. Love movies, Dracula movies.
Was super upset with the one that they did on the Demeter.
Yeah, that was
He should have been Dracula instead of some weird demon-looking thing.
It was just so... It was so awkward. And I felt like they could have done so much better, especially if they're going to do it. Because they could have done better if they would have read the book, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and gotten what he was, and then they definitely could have given a better Demeter storyline from that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they didn't. I feel like they just didn't do that, and it was so heartbreaking. And then when the one guy left on the boat, it hurts my soul. There's no way he'd be able to go to that boat to kill him. Yeah. So he should have got away. Yeah, exactly. Because you have to have the soil from his land on the boat, and it wasn't on the life. Like, so there were some parts that didn't add up. But
But
So
anyway.
it was just disappointing. And when you have high hopes for something because you're so like interested in it, and then it becomes a disappointment, it's just like no. So then it just for the next one just makes you feel blah. So it's hard. So it's like I want to get excited about it, but it's like, is he gonna fuck it up? That's my biggest problem. Like, is he gonna fuck it up? I hope he doesn't fuck it up. Anyway, Sophie says, I saw the movie Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. Oh my God, what a horrible movie. I wish I could take back that hour and a half of my life. No, we didn't watch that Dream Scenario one, but we did see the preview things for it.
Is that Remember, the one where he dreamed about him?
Yeah, he dreams about him and then tells him, and then things go like really chaotic, crazy. Sophie says the card for Money in the Bank will be interesting. We'll open and close the show. Piccolo says, I think Lily Depp is the main girl. Sophie's like, Lily Depp, aka Johnny Depp kid? Oh, I have no idea. Piccolo's like, I do want to see that Dream Scenario, but oh my God, Bo is afraid I will not get my time back. You know, and I've heard people like that one, Piccolo. Like, I've heard people say they like that Bo is Afraid. Like, I've heard people say that, the name of that movie, and say, oh, it's really good. So now I'm questioning because I have people saying it's good, and Piccolo's like, nah, I will never get my time back. So now I'm kind of like, okay.
I've never heard of it, so I would have to watch the trailer.
Robbie says, oh, DL, but it was with the Fresh Prince, Keenan and Kelly, and Saved by the Bell. Okay, whatever. Piccolo's like, Chris, dope, spelling it like witch, fist bump. Robbie says, I wouldn't watch Kevin Hart. And Sophie says, with some franchises, I feel if you missed one movie out of whatever amount of movie, you'd get confused. A Quiet Place, I haven't seen it as well. It looks weird and scary. I don't know about weird and scary, but it's just not my cup of tea. I tried watching the original Barry one that they started with, and it just didn't fall in my genre of something I really wanted to continue watching. Piccolo's like, incredible. Robbie's like, LOD, what was bad about the film? And Piccolo's like, oh, I got a rile out of y'all. Dang, I'm being burned by the stake. Holy shit, guys, just stone me. Now, I know, Piccolo, that you're like this person that's like very into the cinematic behind the scenes and like all that stuff and all the cinematic effects and everything of that nature. So you look at movies in a different way than I do or Travis does. And, you know, dude, more power to you that you see it differently. But I seriously wish I'd never, ever, ever heard of the Northman, let alone seen any parts of it whatsoever. Chris says, yeah, I saw Northman. Them motherfuckers fought on Mount Olympus. People's like, Jeebus. Yeah, it's an acid trip for real, for real. Did I brag about the Northman on this chat? I would never. Oh, you don't have to, buddy. It's all in your words. How much you love it. Somebody says, what movies you can tell if the writers and directors are making it for your age group? Yeah. Feels like, could you interpret that? I don't watch Disney. I watch dramas. My problem is I could pretty much watch movies in a lot of different genres. I really can. There's very few that I don't, or I try to give most of them a chance. The only ones I refuse to watch, I refuse to literally watch them in any format, is the monkey ones. I don't like them. And I do not like the live action shit from Disney. I hate it with a passion of hate and loathing. I do not like them. And the Planet of the Apes ones. I do not like those movies.
Did you ever watch the one with what's his name in it? Marky Mark?
What? What do you mean?
Apes. What are we talking about?
There was one with Mark Wahlberg in it? Then I would say no. If it's a Planet of the Apes movie, no. Never seen any of them.
Yeah, it's a Planet of the Apes one, all right. It's different because they had the originals in the 70s and stuff. And then it came out in like 2000. And then they came out like 10 years later with the new ones that they're kind of still going with. No. It does not matter who's in it. I will not watch them. I don't care what actor's in it. Even if it's an actor that I enjoy and like and seen in other movies and think is good,
I will not watch those movies. I just can't do it. Anyway, Sophie says a lot of stars are getting their stars for the Walk of Fame or whatever the star in Hollywood is called. Piccolo says, I don't watch Nickelodeon. I watch documentaries. Well, I have watched some Nickelodeon Piccolo, but it was back in the 90s and early 2000s. A little bit different. Mostly it was cartoons. Sophie says, have you seen Inside Out 2 yet? I think I will wait for it to drop on Disney Plus for a few months or 100 days after it landed in theaters. Haven't seen it. I know that Walter saw it, though, a couple weeks ago. People says, you like thrillers and things that make you feel, not in a lighthearted Pixar kind of way. You know, I actually do like thrillers like that to a certain point. But I also like the ones that make me feel like Pixar. I like all kinds of movies.
I like the James Bondy types or the British.
Yeah.
Those guys, too.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name, that young kid with the glasses? He plays in the new Robin Hood.
New Robin Hood, young guy with glasses.
He plays in those movies. He sleeps with the princess after he saves the world, and it's got the motherfucker guy in it.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, whatever his name
I know which ones you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The Kingsman.
Yeah,
the Kingsmans.
Just the British guys.
Chris says, yeah, look at the trailer for Nosferatu. The end of the trailer is scary and intense. It has a scary violin playing as the door opens and Nosferatu is standing there menacingly. Okay, so this is my problem with trailers, Chris. They always take the best parts of the movie and give you the trailer. Then when you go to watch the movie, it's crap. Not all the time. Just lately it's been like that.
I'll watch it anyway.
The Northman was exactly that. Oh, this is going to be good. It looks pretty good. It was not. It was terrible. It was horrible. It was awful.
Why did he say acknowledge?
For me.
That was weird.
Piccolo says, that's just not my thing. Sophie says, they are making a live-action Street Fighter movie. And barf. Chris says, they said this Nosferatu movie will be directed based off the book. Really? Huh. Piccolo says,
Bram Stoker's Dracula, or was there a book of...
Nosferatu? I don't know. It could have been a book.
I'll research into this. I'm going to watch it. I like this stuff, so I won't be too critical on it.
Just because there's one movie that a director makes or whoever makes that I don't like doesn't mean I don't like some of their other movies.
Yeah, one of those guys did Titanic.
James Cameron.
And he does other good movies. Steven Spielberg did The Color Purple, for crap's sakes. But he's done other good ones.
Oh! His enforcer number 2. Acknowledge him. Gross. Oh, God, this is dumb. I thought he wasn't supposed to be there. So he lied?
He had his own entrance.
Oh. So
acknowledge
he
you.
lied.
They're all acknowledging him. Look at Paul Heyman. He has to acknowledge him. Or else he'll get beat up.
Look, Paul Heyman looks sick.
He looks sick. Maybe he really is, or he's just not shaven.
He's not shaving, but he looks pale and gross, like he's dying. He looks grody.
He's letting his silver hair grow in, probably for the part.
Oh, maybe he's been crying because of what's his face dying.
Maybe.
Sika. Where'd you get those? Ah, this is weird and stupid.
This is drama over the top.
People says, bruh, that's what I do. I'm the hype machine. I want to think like a glass half full. You should think like a glass that's never full. Sophie says dream scenario was kind of like Inception, and Pico's like, but sure.
The glass is always full, no matter what's in it.
Oh, is that how it is?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like it was never full because you can never stop learning.
No, the glass is always full. It's either filled with air or water.
Oh, yeah.
It's always full.
Sophie says Dream Star was kind of like Inception. Chris says Anna Taylor-Joy was the only thing I looked at in Northman movie. Sophie says, wow, Jacob Fatu song is good. I have watched some Kevin Hart movies. Pico's like, Ray, I get it. Robbie says, D, what constitutes as a good movie for you then? I would never presume that what I think of as a good movie is a good movie for other people.
Oh, shit.
He said no.
You're not my tribal chief.
He said no. He said no. Paul said no. He said no.
Thumb him. I thumbed his ass.
He's killing him. He's killing poor Paul.
Like Paul Heyman.
Who's going to help him?
Hopefully nobody.
I'm not saying he should be saved. I'm just saying, oh.
But if you hear the music, that place, the roof will come off. If Brock's music hit. It wouldn't go with the storyline, but Brock would run right through all four of those guys.
Right. Sophie says, I sometimes look at a trailer and I can tell right away if I'm going to watch it or not. Sophie says, I mostly like comedies and cartoons depending on the actors. Peel says, some people think Planet of the Apes or Godzilla movies are the tits. Travis really loves Godzilla movies. I grew up with
Godzilla.
But his family likes a lot of those, like, B movies and stuff like that. Like, he's talking about old school Godzilla movies, too, by the way. Like,
all of them.
Really old school ones he likes, too. So, every Godzilla movie we watch. Which is fine. Some of them are good. Some of them are kind of dumb. Sophie says, Planet of the Apes, it seems like they do a reboot of that, like, every 10 years or something like that. And says, shit, Stephanie McMahon in SmackDown tonight. She's there? What? Where? But have you seen Planet of the Apes meme of the monkey saying, oh no, it's hilarious? Yeah, I think I've seen it around. Pickle says that was what the first reboot. Yeah, weird freaking Tim Burton directed that one.
Elmer Fudd. He's
Robbie
getting his ass handed to him.
Robbie says, go on, do you watching Hey Arnold on Nickelodeon? Yeah, why not? Do you have a problem with Hey Arnold? So he says, I choose a movie or show depending on what my mood is. And Pickle's like, Kingsman? Yeah, it was the Kingsman, Pickle. I picked it out of my brain somewhere. So sometimes with some movies, they drop you like 3 trailers before the movie comes out. Robbie says, oh, D, was that movie an instant regret? D is a harsh critic. So he says, Planet of the Apes, they do have a lot of reboots for some reason. Pickle says, oh yeah, my Trinity. They have a couple duds. I mean, that's true, right? I mean, they do. Like, and the thing of it is like, they could have, like, one that's just so amazing, and then, like, and everybody else thinks they're great, and you're just like, how is that possible? And they're like, oh, it's because it's by this director, and you're like, I don't give a flying fuck who directed it. It's garbage. Yeah, this one he did was great, but this one's like shit. Like, I don't understand it myself.
My thing that I don't understand, and I don't know when it started, because I never did it in my entire life, that people know who directed a movie.
Right?
Like, I would just go watch a movie. I would have never said, oh, you know, blah, 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 directed Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's got to be good. And even in the 80s, that guy that did all the really good, you know, there's a Carpenter who did the scary ones, and then there's
John Carpenter.
The other guy that did all the good ones, The Breakfast Club, all those ones. He's famous too. I don't know his name. But who the fuck cares? If the movie's good, it's good.
Right.
If it's not, it's not. And then I started hearing things like, oh, but that's from the same director that did blah, blah, blah. Like Machete or whatever. And it's like, how do you know that? And why do you care?
Because they like the director. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, if you're a huge, like, if you're a huge cinematic person who, like, goes in and, like, looks at that stuff and likes to critique certain stuff, you're going to find the style of what the director does, and then you're going to look for it in each movie that they do and see if they really do it.
Francis Ford Coppola or whatever. It's like, so it's The Godfather? Like, oh, he did other things? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And what's funny, though, is there's a couple of them where their shit just is just exceptional each time. But it's different in its own way. It's still exceptional.
I know. I've heard of Quentin Tarantino, too. His are all weird.
Well, of course they are. It's like Tim Burton. They're all weird, too.
So with that theory, I did it myself because Tim Burton, if it was a Tim Burton movie, I wouldn't watch it.
True.
Because I didn't like this weird clay animation crap that he did in the 90s.
Yep.
But then he did other movies that I didn't know, like Beetlejuice I didn't know was his. And I'm like, that was pretty good.
Right.
And so...
How many other ones he's done?
Yeah, well, he's done What's Its Name, the one that I watched
Dark Shadows.
10 times a week.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow's pretty good.
He does a lot of different ones. That's why I was like, you don't like Tim Burton. I'm like, I get the whole like animation part, but I'm like, you watch those fucking clay animations of fucking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you weirdo. Same fucking shit.
Let's not put
The same shit.
Category.
Same shit.
Hermes way cooler.
Same shit. And no, he's not.
Oh, but
now that I know that he is a stupid wrestler, I hate it even more.
The only one that ever like got on me was that fucking Edward Scissorhands. I can't watch that movie for 2 fucking seconds. He's such a weird.
It's kind of creepy.
And it's what's his name? It's
Johnny Depp's character.
But I can't watch that character. He's got like these weird eyes in it. And he's always like this weird victim thing.
Right.
I don't even know what's going on.
So what's creepy about it, right? Is that he's literally a Frankenstein monster.
Right, which would make sense.
He's a Frankenstein monster.
And so he's like this poor pitiful me thing.
Well, kind of, you could kind of say that because he was made in a lab. Because, you know, the scientist was sad and he wanted a son.
So he built everything humanly perfect except for his hands.
I can't remember. I think he died before he could make his hands. Is why. He died before he could finish him. So there you go.
That makes a little bit of sense.
People says, oh yeah, my turn. Oh, Sophie said, wonder when Solo and this bloodline finally going to beat Paul Heyman down. They finally did right now.
Thank goodness.
Chris says, I just hope they make Nosferatu walk up the stairs in his shadow on the wall like in Silent Movie. I'm sure they'll do something of that nature. So he says they turn Paul face. Paul Heyman denying Solo. Chris says, Piccolo says, will you be moving to TNA and just dropping AEW altogether?
You know, that's not the worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
So he says they have been building to this moment for months. So Robbie says, Melody, I'm asking your opinion. I don't have an opinion about movies. Like what I like, nobody else will like. Sophie says, is this how they are going to write Paul Heyman off of TV for a while until Roman comes back? People's like, fuck yeah, Paul, he gets destroyed. Even Fatu acknowledged Solo, you'd think he'd be tribal chief. Mohawk Gunny in the chat for just a second. What's up, brother? Been a while. It's Friday. Yes, it is, Mohawk. What are your thoughts on the Wyatt 6?
Middle road. Wait and see. I don't like the wrestlers in the Wyatt 6. I like the idea of the Wyatt 6, but I don't like that it's just a bunch of mid-card guys. I feel like they needed at least one star, like one guy that could be a champion.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed when they came up with the idea in the first place. I felt it was a disgusting display of grossness, of shadowing the legacy of Bray Wyatt. I think it's gross, personally. Pico says, well, this is the time, like movie journalists have expressed that no movie stars exist anymore. There are no Paul Newmans or Clint Eastwoods in the current cinema, I don't think. Pico, and you're right. Okay, so Travis and I talk about this all the time. Actually, this is something, and you might actually enjoy this conversation too. So Travis and I watch movies a lot, right? And we watch different movies, and we went back and watched old movies. Because I like old movies. I like a lot of old Clint Eastwood movies. And we were watching it the other day, his first one, Dirty Harry. Okay, his first Dirty Harry movie, Dirty Harry. And we watched
Forgot about that.
the Any Which Way But Loose or whatever. Okay. Okay, but the Dirty Harry one we definitely watched. And Travis was like, it's so refreshing to go back and watch a movie where they don't fucking tell you everything about the guy and the situation. You just have to learn it because they show you.
Yeah, I like the development of the story that tells you why that guy's a badass.
Not just sitting you down in front of the camera and telling you exactly why that guy is a badass.
Right. Like all of a sudden you hear of a guy and they're like, "Oh, he's killed blah blah blah," and they just talk and it's like,
"Oh, well now you know. You don't even have to watch the rest of the movie or know the character."
I want to see him doing his deeds and then go, that dude's crazy.
So that's some stuff I guess you could kind of come back and say, like, those are things we notice. You know, if you want to go of, you know, critiquing and stuff like that.
There are good storytelling still. I watched a movie not too long ago. I should have remembered what it was for this talk that we're having right now. And they did that.
Oh, yeah. What one was that?
And I was like, Hey,
We did watch it. It was pretty good.
I was like, now if that guy does that, it was Game of Thrones.
Oh,
And it was like, now we know that guy's a badass.
That's right. It was in Game of Thrones.
It was when he shot the arrow at the boat.
That's
now
right.
I said, if they get into a fight and he has a bow and arrow, he's going to kill somebody, and we know why he's going to shoot it through a little hole. Whatever, if it happens.
Right, if it ever happened.
But
right.
it's there.
Yeah.
And that's from storytelling.
Yeah. But no, I exist. There aren't really movie stars, you could say, in this current cinema. I feel like they're all just participation trophy weirdos.
I like the British kid that I just talked about that was in Robin Hood and those I Spy movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
The Kingsman.
I like Jamie Foxx.
I just don't feel that they're what you would consider like movie stars like Paul Newman or Clint Eastwood.
Right. So Denzel is.
True.
And I feel like Jamie Foxx was going to be the next him, but obviously
He
kind of
had
fell
something
off.
happen to him.
Right. Well, he knew some stuff.
Probably, and they put him in the ICU. People says movie stars like Chris Hemsworth or RDJ, which is Robert Downey Jr., or ScarJo, are box office draws. The audience relied on the IP, aka Iron Man or Thor or Black Widow. Which is funny because when I think of Robert Downey Jr., I don't think of him as Iron Man, actually. So I personally don't see him as Iron Man. I like some of his comeback movies. I actually enjoyed him probably more as, what's his face?
Was it Cyrus or whatever?
No. I enjoyed him as
What do you mean, you
Sherlock
people?
Holmes. I enjoyed him as Sherlock Holmes in those movies more so. I didn't mind his rendition of Sherlock Holmes. I thought it was actually pretty interesting and it fit his character well. Robbie says, has Hollywood gone into a rebuild stage? No, they're never going to rebuild. They're just crumbly garbage at this point.
They went too far in one direction that they won't be able to pull out.
No.
The plane's already headed down, and so you're going to see YouTube channels and YouTube things with better ideas and I don't know. I just feel like movies are almost going to be a thing of the past, just like series is. Everything's going to go reality.
Yeah. Peel says the last Mad Max with Chris Hemsworth and Anya Joe Taylor, it flopped, which it doesn't surprise me one bit. It doesn't surprise me that it flopped. The Fall Guy with Gosling and Emily Blunt, it didn't make money in theaters either. I can see why it didn't. It wasn't that good. Mohawk says that's probably going to be the sixth one. There's 5 people. Yeah, I don't on the 6th Wyatt 6th. According to a lot of people, Wyatt 6, Bray Wyatt's the 6th. Piccolo says nice. I believe world building and character building are important. Well, and that's the thing, right? Because so when you read a book, your mind is the movie, right? Your mind is the book. They may be describing it, but your mind is what makes it reality in your brain. Movies are showing you what's happening, but instead now they're just telling you everything that's happening. So you don't even have to use deductive skills or thinking or anything of that to know even what's going on. And to me, that's boring. Like that's not fun. That's boring and stuff like that. And I think that's why they're finding out that a lot of these quote unquote, as they've called it, horror movies are doing way better than all these action-packed, Hollywood star-packed crap that they put out. Because at least the horror movies are, like back to the basics of fucking movie making and storytelling, kind of stuff. But that's just things that I've heard or read. By all means, I don't know very much about movies because I don't look at movies like you do, people. I just look at them as for entertainment value rather than anything else. People says Denzel, he may be the exception, still has a top billing. He does have a top billing. True. Denzel does. But that's what you want in the sense of Paul Newman's and Clint Eastwood. If you're going to see if he is part of that movie star existence, he's the type of guy that even though he might do a poo-ass movie, he's going to draw people to it because of his name, and it could make it one of those movies that becomes a cult following and gets a huge bump because of that, right? So that's where you have to look at it, because not all of Paul Newman's movies or Clint Eastwood movies were that great. Like, most of them were blah, and nobody's going to deny that, you know, any or every movie that they did was fabulous or fantastic. If you're a fan, you're a fan. Now, there's a lot of Clint Eastwood movies that I'm not a fan of. Like, Play Misty for me? Yeah, no thank you. The Bridges of Madison County, a lot of people love that one. Not a huge fan. But it's a romantic drama. I'm not too much on the romantic stuff, so it kind of is weird to me. I mean, it's a cute story, but it's not something I'm like, oh,
never seen it or read it.
Totally want it. Right? But Robbie had said, haha, D, LOL, Sherlock Holmes. Well, I'll tell you this much, Robbie. I have actually read and listened to Sherlock Holmes stories multiple times. Yeah. All of them. So I actually am a pretty big Sherlock Holmes fan. In fact, there's a couple of other renditions of Sherlock Holmes that I've really liked. So there's just one of those characters that
Abdul-Jabbar wrote some too, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, they weren't too bad either. But I would say that Robert Downey Jr. portrayed Sherlock Holmes' character, just his eccentricities, quite well, for if you go off of what he was like in the books. So that's why you can laugh at me all you want about Sherlock Holmes, but I actually like the character. Max says, no, what about Disney movies? It depends on the Disney movie. I'm not a fan of all the live action ones, not my game. There's a lot of Disney movies nowadays that I think are garbage. I like the old school, all the old school Disney movies, and not just the cartoons. Mm-hmm. So I have a hard time watching a lot of the new stuff. A lot of it just is weird to me. Ravi says, when's the next Battle Royal? I don't know when the next Battle Royal is.
Battle Royal.
Mohawk says, what is stupid? He's dead in a whisper. Have you seen Murder Mystery Movie? It's good. Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
1 and 2.
Just a goofy, funny movie with.
2.
Oh, definitely. Way better. Way, way better. Ravi's like rom-com. Nah. Ravi says, go on, D. That's cool. No mocking. Just found it intriguing. You like it. No, seriously, I really enjoy Sherlock Holmes. There's a author that writes Lady Sherlock books. Love them. I seriously think it's so cool that they made a Lady Sherlock, but in a different sense of how she literally can't be Sherlock, so she has to like pretend she's like Sherlock's sister just so she can figure out these murders and stuff like that and whatnot, mysteries and things. Very intriguing books. Anyways, Ravi says Disney was never for me. Couldn't get into it. And you know, Ravi, I get it. Like, I'm sure Disney isn't a huge thing in the in Britain and England and stuff like that. I think it's more of a stateside type of shit. And the thing of it is they were safe movies that my mom could get and have us watch and not have to worry about what's in it, kind of thing. And we mostly watched movies, not like cartoon movies. Like, we did watch cartoons from Disney, but most of the stuff we watched were the actual movies. So, there. Anyways, Mohawk says, I've only seen one. And Ravi says, oh, it's big in the UK, but I just never liked it. I have no idea. I mean, I would expect Disney's big everywhere, but I'm not going to presume that it's huge in the UK. But even back then, like, you know, in the 80s and stuff. Mohawk says, Monsters University and Monsters Inc. were my favorite. Those ones weren't too bad. They weren't really Disney, but yeah. Anyways, guys, looks like Picola left us. Anyways, thanks for joining us tonight for SmackDown. We'll be back again on Monday for Raw, everybody. We are not going to be doing the AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view on Sunday. But if you are interested in watching it, they do have their Forbidden Door pay-per-view on Sunday this weekend. It'll probably be like a 6-hour because they have like 13 or 14 matches on the card or something like that. It's crazy. Anyways, Pico says, oh goodness, way over the time lapse. And Robbie says, no 12-hour pay-per-view. Yeah, no 12-hour pay-per-view of us sitting here and doing it. All right, you guys have a great weekend. You guys be safe, make good choices and all that stuff. Be good to yourselves.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.
Bye.